It's a Western Conference game on display featuring the Sacramento Kings. Bringing you some fun on a Monday night. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. This game marks the end of this stretch at home for the Lakers. Back on the road tomorrow. They've definitely started the season right with a hot start.
Seeing where the Lakers are, they've been effective in just about every aspect of the game. I mean, you can't find too many things that they do wrong. They're a very complete team.
Which is exactly why they've been able to maintain their status, Clark, as one of the favorites for the NBA title this season. I mean, there's no easy way out against this club on a nightly basis. I mean, they're talented, they execute, they're well coached. That's why they are who they are.
And now the State Farm starting lineup. Here's a look at the Sacramento Kings. Robinson at 4 with Cousins at the 5. Salmon's out there with Brooks. And it's Evans in at the 3. And for the Lakers, Kobe and Matt at the wings with the big Pau Gasol at the 4. Nash out there with Howard.
Aaron Brooks last season played in China and made it all the way to the championship round over there. He's a player who's absolutely NBA material. He's proven that. But he didn't want to wait and see how the lockout developed, so he took the opportunity abroad. Good for him.
Here's Cousins after Pau Gasol's bucket. And off there, he misses his first shot of the night. There's the 3. Kobe misses. The Kings have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And for Aaron Brooks, he had an established role as the backup point guard in Phoenix. And Steve now reestablishing himself in the NBA.
Well, I'm interested to see if he can pick up where he left off as far as his production is concerned. You know, it's not easy to leave the NBA for a year. And even though he was playing in China, it's a totally different situation. But Brooks is talented, he's quick, and he can really light it up.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
I had a chance to catch up with Keith Smart. One player he said he's worried about in this game is Pau Gasol. He said with his length and touch, it's really hard to bother that shot. We're going to try to be physical with body him up early and deny him position. And guys, that's what a lot of teams try with Gasol. Force him to really battle through contact. We'll see how it works.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Here's Kobe following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. Here's Salmons. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Yeah, the fans not agreeing with the call there.
Well, that's one way to get a reaction from the fans, guys.
Looking at who's out there now for the Lakers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Howard. Jamison comes in for Meta World Peace. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Kobe. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Steve Nash.
And last season, you know, Chuck Hayes struggled with his shooting. He's never been a big scorer, but I think the dislocated shoulder he suffered was a factor in that shooting percentage.
Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Hill. World Peace comes in for Matt Barnes. Kobe's checked in for Meeks. And Darius Morris subs in for Steve Blake.
He's as close to impossible to defend as anybody, I think. I mean, he can just torch the defense in so many ways.
Evans, covered by World Peace. Evans kicks to Thomas.
You know, that's a solid shot right there, Kevin. I mean, he's one of the better low-post finishers we'll see.
Here's Morris. Sinks the triple. Morris has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Thornton. That misses. Would have kind of had it gone in. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. The Lakers.
The NBA season.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from what we've seen so far from the Lakers, guys, what are your thoughts?
How about the three-point shooting? The scoring has really come in bunches from long range.
Yeah, it seems like every time down the floor they're knocking down the triple.
On the court for Sacramento, Thornton and Salmons, the 2 and 3. Robinson at 4 with Cousins at the 5. And it's Brooks in at the point guard position. Salmons, no luck.
Well, if you're a basketball fan, you remember Keith Smart hitting the game-winning jump shot for Indiana back in the 1987 Final Four. And went on to have a long career as an assistant coach in the league and now doing a nice job as the main man in Sacramento.
Here's Thornton following the bucket by the Lakers. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Thornton's got his first basket.
Well, you look at Thornton, and he's not the tallest guy, but he never shies away from contact. He's got a strong body, and when you can shoot the way he does, that means defenses have to go out on you on the perimeter, and that gives him driving lanes to get into the paint.
Well, I think it's his focus that helps him there and in other aspects of the game. Offensively, if he gets hot, a timeout or TV break isn't going to throw him off his game. I mean, he's one of those guys, once he's hot, he stays hot.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Right side, Thomas. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. And the call will be against Steve Blake. That's his first foul. And the Lakers with some changes. Devin Ebanks, he's checked in for Hill. Kobe comes in for Meeks. And Darius Morris subs in for Steve Blake. Jason Thompson, he's checked in for Sacramento. Thornton comes in for Francisco Garcia. And Coach Smart likes to keep in touch with his players off the court using text messaging. Check in with them often.
Well, that's the way you got to do it these days. I mean, you got to take advantage of modern technology and be able to relate to your players, whether it's online social networking or whatever it is. I mean, you've got to be able to connect with your players as a coach on some level, and that's a good way for Coach Smart to do it.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Kevin, it's hard to talk about Kobe Bryant without talking about his incredible devotion to the game. He said, actually, I enjoy the preparation more than the actual games because the journey is always more significant. And the practices where nobody's looking and that sort of stuff, that's always been more fun to me. But preparation has always been more enjoyable. Guys, that explains plenty.
Yeah, it sure does, Doris. Thanks.
How about the irony for the Kings last year? They draft Jimmer Fredette high in the first round, and then they get Isaiah Thomas with the last pick in the draft, and it turns out that Thomas is the one who ends up taking over the starting point guard role.
Nice shot by Evans.
Yeah, saw just a little bit of daylight, went right to the rim.
Lakers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%.
And they won that game, guys, in large part because of the defense played by their bigs. They turned away more than their share of shots.
And I thought it got into the other guys' heads as the game went on. I mean, they weren't taking it to the basket nearly as aggressively.
And for the Kings, a team just doing everything they can do to try to find a difference maker on the floor, and they could care less that they found their point guard late in the draft, early in the draft. They just wanted to find a point guard player.
Well, if you have game, it will travel and will show through. And with Jimmer and Thomas manning the backcourt, the Kings have some pretty good talent in those two players that can give them different looks at the point guard spot.
And that one's good. And it's 13 points for Kobe Bryant.
You can't fault what he's been doing out there. Some really impressive shooting.
Knocked loose. Morris dishes to Jamison. Lays it in off the breakaway. Here's Thornton. 29 points for him last game against Milwaukee.
Boy, he had it going offensively, just living at the line. He would have been lucky to knock that shot down.
Yeah, that kind of shot will definitely get you the high brow from the coach and maybe get you a seat on the bench, too.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Lakers.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Mondays, the Trailblazers will square off.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
Well, how about Kobe in this one? He's got 13 points, and he's knocked down 3 shots from beyond the arc also.
Well, he's showing great form on those long-range shots, guys. His fundamentals are solid. He's squared up, balanced, good follow-through. That's why he's knocking these shots down.
Kobe, Meta, and Pau Gasol are the guys that make up the 2, 3, and 4 slots. Howard is out there with Nash. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. Brooks, the pass to Robinson. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Robinson's got 4 points in the quarter.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys. You know, the Lakers weren't quite as dominant as they were in 2010-11, but it wasn't because of how they played against the West. They really did a nice job against their conference rivals.
That's slammed in by Howard.
There's no stopping him when he gets to the basket like that. If you can't foul him in time, just get out of the way.
32-16 was their end mark of the season against the West. The Lakers certainly showed they can play with every team that was a contender out there, and they were tough, but it just at the end, it just did not come together for them.
Well, nonetheless, winning 2 out of every 3 games you play in conference action is a good recipe for finishing near the top of the standings. The Lakers would have loved to have been that #1 seed, but they didn't get it. It wasn't because of how they played in the West, though.
It was, I think, that they were the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, as it turned out. Now here's Brooks after Meta World Pieces missed. And then Cousins with the dunk.
And not much resistance on that jam.
Yeah, defensively, you're right, not a great sequence.
Well, they lost track of them, and they paid the price.
They get it again, and World Peace gets to Gasol. From 13 feet, it goes down. Gasol's got his 2nd basket of the night.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
You know, one of the strongest players in the NBA, to me, has to be Meta World Peace, also known as the Artest, formerly known as Ron.
You like that, don't you, Clark? Huh?
Yeah, I like that play on words. I do like that play on words. But clearly, Ron, one of the strongest guys who have ever played.
No one had more success at the foul line last season than this group of players. Steve Nash is 4th.
The pressure is always there when you're at the foul line. It's you in the basket. You're all alone. But the really good free throw shooters are the ones that can knock them down at a high rate. And this guy is on that list because he was able to block out the distraction and follow his routine.
And for Meta World Peace, some have said the name is a little ironic when you look at that elbow he threw that caught James Harden right in the head late last season in Los Angeles.
Well, throughout his career, we know Meta World Peace, formerly Ron Artest, has been very erratic. His issues off the court well chronicled, and he's made progress. There's no denying that. But with anybody that's had issues, whatever the compulsive behavior is, there are flare-ups and relapses. And that's what we saw with Ron, unfortunately. He's done a lot of good things. He won the NBA Citizenship Award, and deservedly so. So hopefully we won't see any more episodes like that James Harden elbow. That was hard to watch, Kevin.
Tyreke Evans is checked in for Francisco Garcia. Brooks against Nash. Now here's Cousins. He's tightly guarded. And here's Brooks from outside. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. And the Kings pushing it up now. Evans leading the charge. And the dunk by Robinson.
Put that paw up there and banged it home.
Yeah,
man, that was nice.
Little Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
right.
that was strong.
Simple, direct, and effective.
Nash outside, and again it's the Lakers from deep. Now here's Brooks with 1 on the clock. Jump shot is good. Brooks has got his first points of the game. And offensively, a great show for the fans for the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the 4th. Who's had the Sprite uncontainable game in this one? Well, let's go to Doris Burke.
Thanks, Kevin. Today, it's the Lakers coming away with the uncontainable game. They've gotten the contributions they've needed from everyone that has stepped on the floor for them, and that's why they're in position as we head to the 4th.
All right, Doris, thanks. A moment now to reset the lineups brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the 4th quarter. On the court for Sacramento, Thornton and Salmons, the 2 and 3. Hayes out there with Oden, and it's Brooks in at the point. Last outing for Sacramento, they won that game against Milwaukee. World Peace. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. Tyreke Evans is checked in for Francisco Garcia. The Kings trail by 4.
Right there!
Brooks with it. He dishes it to Salmons. Robinson up top. Knocked away. Evans dishes to Robinson. 5 to shoot. He's off from 17 feet.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level. Another open look hits bottom from outside.
Yep, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
And here's Brooks after Meta World Peace hitting the 3. It's Salmon's on the wing. Back to Robinson. And it's the Lakers on the break. Here's Ebanks. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And it's Sacramento's ball. 7-point differential. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Lakers team.
Neither team having any trouble putting the ball in the basket.
Nope, nada. I mean, we haven't seen much defense either. I mean, both of these teams really locked into trying to outscore each other.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, Mike Brown was just going over the plan with his team. He said nobody but us believed we'd be in this position, and here we are. I'm proud of you guys tonight. Now go finish this thing off.
You know, they're just getting hammered inside and really need to find a way to be tougher down there. They got to be physical. They got to man up in there.
I agree. I mean, you look at the points they're giving up, most of them seem to be coming inside the paint. That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing him. I think they've got to find a way to chase him off the three-point line.
Dishes to Salmons. Good ball movement here by the Kings. Kobe with the steal. Nash outside. Feeds to Ebanks. Trying his luck deep. Howard, the pass to World Peace. Shoots over Cousins, and it's World Peace missing. Kings have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Here's Evans. Money! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And with the defense playing that well, the double clutch was the only way he was going to get that ball off.
Nash kicks to Kobe. Takes the 3, and that one's good. And the Lakers lead by 6.
He has looked very comfortable from three-point land today.
Well, the bulk of his points, that's where they've come from.
And the foul called on Devin Ebanks. That's his first foul. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And Cousins kicks to Brooks. Back to Cousins. Wide open. A rebound by the Lakers.
I thought he'd make that one. And that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
The Lakers have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch.
You know, you make a pass trying to cover that much distance. You give the defender an opportunity to home in on that ball.
And defensively, you want to keep the ball as far away from the hoop as possible.
Yeah, because he's too good inside, Steve. I mean, he'll make you pay every time in there.
Looking to close this game out strong here.
Yeah, this one will be put away if they can get just a few more buckets. You can put it on ice.
And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. Cousins missing again.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
And so the Lakers take the win. It was a solid...